Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Easter Pod. I'm your host, Corey Easterday, and on this episode, we are chatting with the one and only Andy Weber. Andy and I had an amazing conversation. We covered so much ground. Andy, for the uninitiated, many hats, many awesome creative projects, but how he and I primarily got connected is his project, GoodHumans CLT, on Instagram, photo essays of good humans in the Charlotte area. I was extremely honor of a lifetime. Andy asked me to be a part of that project and be on that page and allowed me to, he interviewed me, allowed me to share my story, kind of turn the tables. So be sure to check that out. Check out at GoodHumans CLT on Instagram. And you can see not just mine. There's so many incredible stories of people in Charlotte that Andy has captured. And it only made sense for me to turn the tables, if you will, because Andy is not just a good human. Andy is a great human, arguably the best human. He and I did joke about that a little in the episode. Just, maybe I should start a competing Instagram page. Best humans, amazing humans, great humans. How superlative can you get? But regardless, Andy is one of those incredible people that I've been honored to have on the show. And we talked about his journey as a photographer, definitely dove into GoodHumans and a lot of the mission and vision behind that. Running, music, so many cool things we touched on. Andy's a great guy. We had a great time hanging out and recording this episode. And as always, the Easter Pod is striving to bring you stories of rad humans that inspire you to engage the world with creativity and hope, just like Andy and his story. And my good friend, fellow stand-up comedian, another incredible human, Skylar Schock, was the featured guest on our last episode. So be sure to check out my conversation with Skylar. We chatted for over an hour, covered so many great things, very in-depth, amazing conversation I was honored to have. So check that episode out with Skylar. And check out a lot of the previous episodes. We're one episode away at this point from episode 40, which is extremely exciting. Covered a lot of great people, a lot of great stories. So please go back, check all those out. They're very evergreen, very great conversations. And you can follow the show at the Easter Pod and follow me at the Easter Dude on all social platforms. Subscribe on your podcast platform of choice so you never miss an episode. If you feel so inclined, please leave a rating, review, share with friends. The feedback always means a lot. Any engagement really helps the show, helps us to keep bringing more of these great conversations to you. And a special thanks, shout out to Easterday Creative for joining forces with the Easter Pod to bring you these stories of rad humans, and to my friends at Token for helping to produce this episode. Follow Andy Weber at Andy J. Weber on social media. You can see all his incredible work. And check out his website, andyjweber.com. Andy is a very, very gifted photographer, as we'll cover. So a lot of really cool photos, photo essays, all the good things on his website, social media, ways to connect, so much more. So without any further ado, folks, I am honored to welcome onto the Easter Pod today someone that I would very much define as a good human. That will make more sense in a second. He's a newer friend, someone whose work I admired for a long time from afar before we finally had the chance to get connected earlier this year. He's a photographer and storyteller from Charlotte, and he documents folks in their elements and passions that make them who they are. And recently, he started a project that I referenced, GoodHumans, which showcases stories of inspiring people in and around the city of Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, and so much more, Andy Weber. Welcome to the Easter Pod. How are you doing today?
Doing well, man. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. What an intro.
Yeah,
love it.
If I do nothing else on this podcast, I try to make sure that people have like the best intro that they've ever had in their lives.
Just take those clips and just be the biggest hype man for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for the day when everyone just kind of like clips their intro from the pod and just uses it as like their outgoing voicemail message or whatever. You've reached the man, the myth, the legend, Andy Weber.
How much do we pay you for that?
It's free. It's my thanks for coming on the show.
I love it. I appreciate you having me on. I'm honored.
Yeah, of course. Everyone needs a good hype man. I'm more than happy to hype you up. You do phenomenal work, and we'll get into a little bit here how we got connected, but you highlight so many incredible people and stories in Charlotte. It only made sense to have you on the pod and return the favor. And we actually got connected through a previous guest on the podcast, Tesho Akindele, who was a few episodes ago. And he's like, hey, you need to, we were taking photos with Megan Easterday Creative for the podcast. And he's like, oh man, I need to connect you with my friend Andy. And then we had coffee, and you invited me on GoodHumans to feature there, and the rest is history.
Yeah, Tesha's the man. Yeah, I'm glad he opened that door. I mean, it's funny how you connect with so many people, and who you know in Charlotte knows somebody else who knows you, who knows whatever. But we're very happy that he connected us for sure. And also, we kind of, when we met, we pretty much have like the same backgrounds and interests, and it was like we knew each other for a while. So.
Yeah, it was a very fun meet cute for two guys in their 30s. It was very cute. No, we did have so much in common. That was cool, and I agree. GoodHumans, what you do, and I want to dive into that more. But
sure.
That highlights one of the things that because Megan and I moved here in like 2018 from Ohio. Lived in Ohio my whole life up to that point, which was one of the things we bonded over. You being from New York.
Mm-hmm.
For most of your life, coming down here and getting a chance to, redefine yourself a little bit as we both commiserated over. But one of the things that's kept us here and just enjoying and feeling like we're able to thrive in the community is how, coming from a smaller town in Ohio, Charlotte's a big city. It's different, don't get me wrong, but it can still have that small town feel of like everyone's connected, in a like very good and positive way. People know each other. It just feels like way smaller than you would think for a big city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the thing that I've realized is everybody is such a unique background. You meet a handful of people that are actually from Charlotte, and it's great to meet those folks and understand what the city was about years and decades ago. But you have so many people now that are here that are all from all over the place, and I think they bring such a unique aspect to creating something special of what Charlotte is. Whatever line of work they do, they bring some unique level to making the city what it is. And it's one of the reasons why I love GoodHumans is like understand. That's the first question I ask everybody is what was like. Go back to where you were mentally, emotionally in your life when you moved to Charlotte, and why, because everybody's answer is so different and their reasoning is so different to why they're here and why they picked the city. It's very few of like, oh, I moved for work. It's a lot of people came here to try something new, to experience something different. And I think they've seen the how special it is and how much can be done here with whatever, again, line of work that they're doing that they can grow into. And the ability to network with people here is just amazing. Everybody is so open and willing to meet each other. And I think that just creates that atmosphere that you want to be involved in, and you want to contribute somehow, and you want to contribute to making the community good, and, fixing issues and speaking up for what you believe in. And that's what I love about it. And that's definitely something that you see on a daily basis with everybody that's here doing the thing.
Very well said. Couldn't agree more. We've teased it a few times now. So you are a photographer primarily, amongst your many other skills that we bonded over, and some that we share that we can dive into later. But give anyone that's listening that may not be aware, even those that are aware, just the basic breakdown of what GoodHumans is, why you started it. Any context for that?
Sure. Every everything I've tried to do creatively has always led to storytelling about other people, and I wanted to kind of showcase that in every aspect. So when I moved here, I was doing a lot of video work. I was doing like short form interview style documentary videos about people going after their passions in life and doing the things that make them who they are. And when I moved to Charlotte, photography really kind of took over, and that spark just went right through me. And I started getting opportunities to actually do photography for work, for a lot of freelance opportunities. I still do. And I just love the idea of storytelling through a photograph. And I love, I can stare at a photograph for hours and look at every piece of it to understand what I think of it, like what I feel, and try to understand why whatever photographer shot that image of like, why did they shoot that, or why did they look at that so differently? And then being from New York, Humans in New York is a amazing project of a Brandon goes and photographs folks in Manhattan and everyday people, just random folks on the streets, and it's really deep, just deep conversation, deep, raw, real conversation about happiness, sadness, high, lows, dark times, and I did the video stuff when I moved here. I did podcasts, and then everything kind of leads back to photography for me, and it always leads back to storytelling. So I figured, why not kind of try to capture that essence of Humans in New York and Charlotte, just because there's such good here, and there's such good folks that are here doing amazing work. And you just met somebody before this podcast. It's like you meet everybody every day that you've never met before that are just doing like beautiful things to help the community in so many different ways. And that's kind of how that started. And, just take photos. I meet folks and just kind of just hear about their life, hear about what makes them who they are, why they are in Charlotte, struggles that they go through. I'm not one to open up about my emotions, but it's definitely something big for me this year that I'm focusing on, and it's just allowing folks to just talk it out, and it's very, very just refreshing to have conversation with people in such a very virtual world that we're in now, and there's something just so special about that, and it allows me to meet folks, to keep the photography alive, and kind of just letting this project take its own shape. I don't feel any pressure with it, which I think is a good thing. Everything I've done, I always feel like I have to accomplish something. I have to hit some metric, some follower number, some count that will justify what I'm doing. And now it's just kind of, I'm at peace with like, I love this. I genuinely love it. And it's allowed me to just not have that pressure anymore. And I think that's just the biggest thing that's allowed me to just keep going with it.
Yeah, it's interesting talking about pressure, because I definitely can relate to and empathize with that, like having different projects and wanting to, see them be successful, reach an audience. For better or worse, the digital media ecosystem we live in now is like we're all kind of content creators. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to think about through that lens. But I did notice, because, we interacted with a few folks before we were recording of, I did the thing where, sometimes I'll get it for the podcast where it's like, oh, you should have such and such. I was like, oh, hey, meet this person, Andy. You should have them on GoodHumans. And then immediately afterwards, I was like cringing inside, like, oh, I don't want to be that person. Why did I do that?
No, it's great. But it shows you how many people are here that it's like, no, you should absolutely talk to this person. And I love that. And a lot of the people that I have on it already have come from recommendations of like, hey, you should probably reach out. Let me connect you with so-and-so. So yeah, don't cringe at that. It was great.
Well, to be fair, I cringe at myself often over many things. So, that freedom of creativity, like you You in many ways are the kind of person I aspire to be in that. I know you have your struggles and emotions and things that we all go through and deal with, but from a creative standpoint, you seem very unbothered, for lack of a better word. You seem like I'm in my wheelhouse. I'm doing something that I'm passionate about that allows me to connect with people, everything you described about it. And I've tried to effort for that myself through this podcast and other creative projects where it's like, if I'm taking the pressure that I would, not that you don't work hard, of course, but if I'm taking the pressure that I would feel in a work situation or whatever, and I'm applying it to this thing that's supposed to be like a passion, it's just very like incongruent. Like it's like you want to have that free, and I think it allows you to connect with people so much better. And that's what I've seen through Good Humans. And that was one of the things we kind of bonded over too, was that like desire to share people's stories. For me, this has been the primary medium, but for you, photography. I know what my answer would be if somebody asked me this about the podcast, but what would how has it been on the other side, do you feel? So this was your kind of mission and vision of Good Humans. How do you feel like it's gone as far as the folks you've had on to feature, how they've connected with it, the emotions it's brought out in them? Like, what do you feel like it's been like on the other side of your lens there?
It's a great question. And also, going back to what you're saying, like I definitely feel the pressure too. Like it's always there. Like the imposter syndrome is always there. Like a lot of that stuff is hard to navigate all the time, and it's easy to get wrapped up in that, and it's easy to try to fight it. I think it's important to try to do the work to figure out how you can just not let that bother you and how you can just focus on what you truly need to focus on. I think the on the other side of it, it's like my favorite thing about it is to see the interactions of when I post a story and seeing all the love and support that these folks get, like in the comment section. Like it's amazing. Like truly seeing the people that really know this person, family, friends, like loved ones, like, and seeing how much that they are loved and supported with what they do. That is just that tops it for me. That's like my favorite thing, and doesn't justify it. It just really just makes me understand. Like, yeah, they're really great. Off of what we just talked about. Like, I'm sure there's many more things that they could have talked to me about that they're going through. Stuff that they don't want to share, maybe they wanted to share, but they, like, you can generally tell like how much love that they have in their life, and I think that's amazing to see. And I know that I'm sure fills their cup up too. And a lot of the folks reach out to me after the fact and thank me for that, and to just thank me for the conversation. And I think that alone is just worth it. Like it's because there's nothing. No one's getting anything out of it. It's an opportunity for folks to sit down, talk, and share out something that can hopefully let somebody else know that they're not alone in a situation, that they're, it's okay to not feel great all the time, and it's just like those little things that kind of make a bigger impact for me with this, and just seeing that is one of my favorite things about the project.
Yeah. You mentioned like imposter syndrome and being in, insecurities and things that we all carry. I think that when I think about Good Humans kind of at a 30,000 foot level, it's like that watching it has been extremely cool. I can only imagine what's like on your side of it, but watching the way people rally around each other with that. And like you said, that affirmation of, the majority of life, and especially when you're dealing with creatives, business owners, et cetera, you're constantly kind of battling through like some of the negative self-talk, feeling like you don't belong, fit in, is what I'm doing worth it? All those questions that we all cycle through our head every day. And I found that the majority of people go through it, but we kind of still feel alone sometimes. That's why it's great that you're connecting people like you are and sharing those stories. But it's cool to have that affirmation for folks of like, if for only this photo or this project or whatever, you're seeing how loved you are, how like you're getting that affirmation, the counter talk to what you're normally telling yourself or what you live in every day.
Right.
You're getting the counterbalance of like, actually you're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very powerful.
Yep. I listened to a podcast yesterday, Jay Shetty's podcast, and he said it's when you ask somebody. So one of the questions I ask everybody in this project, the last question is, give me a moment in your life that you are proud of, that has shaped you into the person that you are today. And he said that when you ask that question, when you ask somebody what they're proud of, it takes them so long to answer it. But if you ask them what their failures are, they'll jump on it. So like I listened to it while I was running yesterday, and like I stopped in my tracks. I was like, that's exactly why I asked the question, because everybody is so fixated, myself included, like we're so, like, I don't know, programmed or what it is, that we're just fixated on the negatives that, or the crappy moments in our life, and or the things that we've done that weren't the right move, or we're so quick to jump on those aspects of our life, when in reality, like, everybody grows, everybody learns from their mistakes, and there are a lot of beautiful moments in your life that have really kind of defined where you are right now, and a lot of people don't think about it, and it could be big or small. It could be such a tiny little thing that happened to you that you're like, wow, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be in this situation where I am now. And I think that's such a beautiful question. And, I think it's, like you said, just people like understanding their self-worth, that they're loved in their life. And, that's really what matters, right? Like, what matters is that you're trying to be the best person, trying to be a good person. You have great family, friends in your life. And, as long as you're treating others the way that you want to be treated, like that's huge.
Yeah, I've always, so two things. I felt very emotional when I sat down for my own GoodHumans interview with you, because you did a great job of like how you laid out the questions. I think there's only like 5 questions,
mm-hmm.
but it's like pretty broad. I mean, we probably talked for like a half hour.
Yeah.
Obviously I did most of the talking at that point, but it was very cathartic and very like, I'm in like actual therapy, but it was very like therapeutic, to like be able to, like the questions you asked and the way you framed it and the space you give for people to just like think about your own story on a deeper level and put things into context you wouldn't normally consider them in. And in hindsight, I probably did a terrible job of talking about the actual like projects and things that I do. But for me, I was just so wrapped up in that idea that you just shared about in that interview and right now, just like the power of community and connection. And we don't have the time to get into it. And if folks have listened to the podcast long enough, they probably know some of it. But I've just been through a lot in life that's kind of like, if I broke it all down, and when I do break it down for people, they're like, wow, it's kind of a miracle you're even like at where you're at today. And for me, I always end up crediting a lot of it because it's true of the people you get to know, the community, the people that support you and believe in you, even when and especially when you don't believe in yourself. So I can think of, aside from, we live in a world with myriad of complicated issues and problems that we all face individually, locally, globally on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. But I'm a big believer in that, like, kind of do what you can philosophy and starting small. And you're like, you may not be able to change the whole world, but if you focus on like what's in front of you, who's in front of you, being present with that and connecting in community. It's huge. So all that to say, what you do, and it sounds like you have a very acute awareness of this, but I think it is very powerful because yes, there's that human psychological element of like to be featured, and that's, that's great. But when you really break it down, like look at the scope of it and the way that like people are connected through it, I feel like connecting people and doing that as much as you can is everything, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a great way to put it. And it's, I don't know. Excuse me. It fills me up, and it makes me thankful that they're willing to just talk about whatever they want to talk about. And then like these questions really kind of flow into just like open-ended conversation. Like, I don't want it to be such a structured thing. Like you can you can go wherever you want with what you want to open up to me about, and it's an honor that they trust me with that. And also, it's just, it's, again, like, that's the beautiful thing that you said is, could be something so small, but, if you're truly just trying to be a good person, making an impact, and the people that are in front of you, like, that can just lead to such a huge moment for yourself or whoever that you're trying to help.
Yeah. And in a way, you're kind of redefining what good human actually means. Like, through featuring, like, it means what it means, but you're also, you're really diving deeper into that.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, hey, that's a cool person, but
Mm-hmm.
like really getting, cutting through the layers of like, why is that person the way they are? And like really talking about those deep and small and daily and meaningful things that don't often get featured on like a social media type platform or things like that.
Yep.
Which I love about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, everybody has a story, right? Everybody has mistakes that they've made, has dark times in their life, happy times in their life. And, again, all those moments lead to something. Like, everybody understands, learns from their life and the things that they go through. And, it's, I think everybody wants to be some level of good in life, and whatever that they can contribute, and whatever passion they have, whatever it is, everybody's trying to figure it out, and you're not alone. Like, it's that simple. Like, no one has their shit figured out. And, especially with how this world is today, it's like, you can't do it alone. And it's, having people around you, having your support system, having people that you want to lean on, want to help, like, that goes such a long way in life.
Yeah, 100%. You're not alone, and people want to feel seen. I mean, that's kind of been one of the humbling things for me and points of maturity over time is, for as much as we all have that inward, like, I want to be seen, I want to be known, I want to be loved or whatever, I think when you've harnessed the ability to turn that inward looking kind of thing and like flip it and turn it outward and tell someone else, I see you, I love you, I know you, like, give that to someone else. Like, it's humbling, because then it's like, well, then that helps kind of heal you at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like counterintuitive that we're all these like walking amalgamations of our own, to use a $100 word, of our own like needs and like desires and messy humanity.
Yeah.
But like the real connection, the real healing, and the real power is when we've rise above our own, narcissism or issues or whatever, an ego, to just be like someone else, like, hey, I see you.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like that's really powerful in what you're doing. And, frankly, like the goal of this podcast, am I alone? Have other people gotten like super emotional in their interviews? Like, you just said you're not alone. Like, do I, have other people?
I've had numerous people that cried in the interview and have talked about like really hard things that they've gone through to where they were. And, not saying I want that, but like it's beautiful. Like, I cry over anything. You can ask my wife. I sob over anything. But like, when you're talking about something so powerful that you went through, or something so meaningful that you went through, seeing that emotion is like, for me, it makes me understand who you are, and how big of an impact that made on you. So yeah, I appreciate that. And I mean, I don't search for it when it happens. I just think it's just so beautiful, because it's just natural. Like, it's okay to feel your emotions, right? And it's like, I don't know how, like your mindset, but like, that's kind of how, like, growing up, it's like, you really shouldn't show your emotion. You shouldn't show your sadness, or, it's like, no, it's so dumb to just hold everything back, because, like you hold it in for so long, it just explodes, and it's just not good. So like when people like let their emotions out, it's really a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I definitely I can relate to that a lot. Excuse me. And one of the things that resonated to me about your project and still does is, like I said, that opportunity to kind of get to a deeper level than what you would normally present, because I can very much easily get caught up in the trap of having to present, whatever kind of perfect persona or whatever you think is going to make you the most likable or most accepted or whatever. And I forget the exact name of the book, but it was an author, Donald Miller, and I feel like I reference this a lot in general in life. I remember reading a book he wrote one time, just the main theme being like becoming a fully integrated person, like being the same on the outside as you are on the inside, and kind of letting those two selves meet each other. Because I think it's very easy for us, especially having like our second digital self and stuff,
Right.
to kind of get that twisted. And I feel like that's a very powerful thing when you can let that kind of fall away a little bit and try to touch on those deeper things, show emotion, allow yourself to connect. And like I said, the counterintuitiveness of that actually does help you heal and draw you closer to people, even though it can feel messy. And we both have children that are very, very young, like both just turned 1 this year. And for me, having our daughter was like, I know it's cliche, but it's just like, talk about letting the emotions come out and the well of emotions and having to get more in touch with that. And I think at the end of the day, like one day, social media is going to go away. All this stuff's going to get like, what's going to get actually saved to time. And it's going to be what has always been true, is like that power of story, that power of connection. It's not going to be like how many likes that had or what this did or, whatever. It's going to be how many followers. It's going to be like how you and at the end of your life, it's going to be like how you genuinely connected with people, and how you let them in to connect with you. And what a library of stories you have. I mean, just even the stuff that doesn't get put on social media.
Yeah. And it's just
crazy.
it's a whole, everybody's story is so different, and everybody that I've met has done, their passions are in so many different aspects of their lives, like, I have food, I have comedy, I have, you're huge on your, and you're so big in the community of Charlotte with what you do with the Laundry Project and your stand-up and stuff you do with Charlotte's Creative. And everybody just has such a unique story. And going back to everybody has a story, and it's just like trying to understand what that story is. So yeah, it's just been special, man. It's just really nice to just talk to folks. And, I think legacy has been a word that I've kind of has resonated with me, that I've read this past year, and especially becoming a father and wanting to be a good husband, a good father, a good friend. Especially with this Good Humans project, it's like, I think a lot of these people are trying to build legacy, like what can they leave behind, and what impact can they make to their friends, their family, their followers, their supporters, that will make them feel that, as life goes on.
Yeah, 100%. I've thought about that kind of stuff my whole life, but way more acutely having our daughter, for sure. Like, excuse me. Yeah, that's very, very astute observation about legacy. We all think about it, but there are certain things that can happen in life that makes you hone in on it a lot more and think about it. I'm glad we spent so much time on Good Humans, because like I do think it's one of the more powerful things out there that's happening, one of the more transformative.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate you wanting to know more about it. It's great. It feels good to talk about it. Again, I don't really talk about it much. I mean, my wife hears all my ideas, everything about it, and she's just been such a wonderful supporter, and she just has great insights on the ideas, but it's just nice to just talk about what it is. It really is a simple thing about just story and just hearing everybody's passions and what makes them who they are in life.
Yeah, and I hope, if I may be so bold, I could offer you the same encouragement you've given to so many others, that like you would be the perfect fit for your own project of you could turn the lens around and, be a good,
that.
you are a good human. You're a great human, stupendous human, really. I was joking with you before. I'm like, I'm just going to start competing like offshoots of like other dummy accounts.
Yeah.
Awesome, amazing humans. You thought good was good. Well, we got something even better.
There's a new slogan for it.
Yeah. Which destroys the whole spirit of it to be that competitive with it. No, it's funny. But yeah, man, like it's been such an honor to connect with you and like hear you share your story too, because who you are and what you do is so powerful, and your story is so powerful, like as an individual, not just as the runner of this project, like the creator and stuff, but like what a cool gift to be able to kind of turn that lens around for you as you gave me that gift and say like I'm at a lack for words right, dude, like you're awesome, like you're
right back at you, man.
Like it's I mean you like the impact you've made in Charlotte through this project and through many of the things you've done, I think it's immeasurable, really. I mean, it's like you are a huge part of the fabric of this community, and you are responsible for a lot of the good in people's lives.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you to say. I mean, I go back to moving here. And in my life, like I was in a pretty rough spot mentally, and I needed something different, and didn't know it at the time, but looking back on it, like moving here was the best thing to ever happen to me, and just being able to create and do the things that I enjoy with photography and networking and meeting people. It's been really great, and something I'm thankful for every day.
Yeah, and that was kind of one of the things we bonded over too, like coming to Charlotte, how it allowed you to like reinvent yourself a little bit, and like become more fulfilled into who you like felt you were always meant to be.
Yeah,
I definitely relate to that a lot.
Big time.
Just give me that opportunity. What I guess to spin it forward with Good Humans, and I want to get into some other stuff too here.
Sure.
But like, what would be your goals moving forward with it?
It's a great question. I'm not sure, and I think we have. I'm hosting the event early October, kind of bringing everybody together. That's been a part of the project. Selfishly, just a way for me to thank everybody for the time and being part of it. Hopefully that's an annual thing. that could be really, really great. I don't know. We were talking before about like getting into video stuff. Like I would love to, have these interviews like be at a really larger scale than where they're at now. These stories and conversations are really, really beautiful, and I would love it to be shared outside of just a short form, Instagram post. I would love to create something on a larger scale, on a video of highlighting these folks in a proper way. And so, yeah, I think again, I don't want to try to overcomplicate it. I'm kind of just letting it pan itself out, which I think has allowed me to really enjoy it and not feel the pressure of I have to hit this certain mark with it. But I would love to see it become into something even more beautiful than what it is now. And what that looks like, I'm not sure, but I know it will figure it out, and I know over time, as these stories get told, and, I have a whole library and archive of these photos and these stories, and these definitely can, again, be shared in a more beautiful way. So that's what I'm thinking about right now, is how all these full conversations can be put into people's laps. And
yeah. How long have you been doing photography?
Since I moved to Charlotte. Really, when I was living in New York, it was really video focused. I mean, I was doing a lot of video work, and then
Gotcha.
Moved to Charlotte, met a lot of folks at what was then Charlotte Agenda. Ted Williams, wonderful human, gave me an opportunity to do some freelance for them. And that kind of opened the door of like, wow, this is awesome. I love it. So,
who are some of your like creative influences in photography or others' work that you admire?
Great question. I think it spans from all over. There's just so many people I follow that are just wonderful, talented photographers. I love documenting or documentary photography. Pete Souza was President Obama's White House photographer, and his work that he did with his campaign and his time in the office was outstanding. And I look to that level of photography as something I want to incorporate into, my day-to-day stuff. Like I try my best to document my son, growing up and time with family and just how he interacts with his mom. And, I'm trying to incorporate that type of work to really kind of highlight the story of a photo. So yeah, Pizza's is definitely up there as far as inspiration.
And I'm on your website right now, which we'll plug at the end. You, if you want, you photographed President Obama.
Yeah.
At the rally.
Oh yeah. That was definitely highlight, the career highlight as photography right now for sure.
And so many other, like Charlotte FC,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of strong Charlotte FC connection here on this podcast. You got to work with them.
Yep.
That
whole team is wonderful. I mean, the people that are in the office on the team, wonderful people.
Yeah, 100%. Could not agree more. They're phenomenal. Everyone at Charlotte FC, seemingly I'm just like scrolling through your like all these local businesses and folks we know and have in common. What's that been like for you? Just because I relate to the like kind of you're in lots of different worlds aspect of it. Like, what's that been like for you, gravitating from like sports to politics to lifestyle to good, like just covering a lot?
It's great. I mean, I'll say yes to everything because I'll figure it out. Like that's my mentality when it comes to photography. Like I'm not the best of, there are so many other photographers in Charlotte that are just so insanely talented that would outshine me any day. But when I get an opportunity to do something, I'm going to say yes to it and I'll figure it out and I will nail it for you. So, a lot of this work has been done for free. I still reach out to folks, because I just want an opportunity to, one, meet them, and then two, get an opportunity to learn that style of photography. Like a lot of the sports stuff is done for free because I want to get into that realm of work, and I just want to experience it, and it's been great. Like, shooting FC, shot preseason Panther football, done a lot of NASCAR stuff, and like a lot of that stuff is so interesting. But again, it's like I think I look at the lens differently because I look for the story in whatever those situations are, and yeah, it's great. And like that night of when Obama was here rallying for Vice President Harris, like that was like the moment I left, and like I got very emotional because like that was like a moment for me where I was like, I can do this. Like if there's an opportunity for me to do this full time, I can do it. And I'll never forget. And like I can recap that whole night and like how I got those shots, and it was just chaotic. But to be at like something like that was just huge for me to understand that like, I can play ball here with a lot of these folks.
It's funny the juxtaposition of like talking about things like imposter syndrome, learning to believe in yourself with which I relate to, but also the part I relate to, I hope I strive for, is that kind of figure it out mentality. I feel like that's so key to what you're doing, who you are, like the things you've been able to produce is, I feel like that can be a mental hurdle for a lot of us. That ability for you to just dive into something and like, I'm going to figure it out. Like, I think that's a very key thing and a very common trait I've noticed with a lot of people like I've had on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, you can hear a lot of opinions on, offering like, as far as like photographers, creators is like offering your work for free. And I get it, you're trying to make money, but fortunate enough to have another job, but I really, I offer the free work is because I want to network with these folks, and I want to have an opportunity to meet these folks, and give them my trust, like have them trust me, like I can help out. So, months or years down the road, it's happened multiple times. I've met somebody, I've done free work for folks, and I don't hear from them from another year, and they email me. They're like, "Hey, you still doing photography? We need help with this X, Y, and Z," and it leads to paid work. So it's just those like little things. If you're really committed to like what you're passionate about, like it's okay to do stuff for free. It's okay to like go outside the norm and like try to get an opportunity. Like you don't need to go by a playbook by like every little thing just because somebody else is doing it. Like if it works for you, if you're finding the work, if you're putting in the effort and you really care about it, you're really being a good person to these people, like that's how I view it.
Yeah, and it goes back to, again, that like being present with people and that willingness to make connections and like really lock in on like how can I support this person. And it's like I come from church world, so I think of it this way sometimes, like just a servant leader mentality of like I remember it was such a profound concept to me when I was first starting to get into like leadership roles, to be like, oh, we're at this event and there's food, like you eat last. Like and I'm talking like high school or whatever. I was very immature. Right. I'm like, what? But it's that kind of thing of like, how can I put other people first? And the counterintuitive way that not that you do it for this reason, but it can come back to you. And like, you are really, when you approach it that way, like you do, like, how can I serve people? Mm-hmm. It really does become this like symbiotic relationship of like, well, now we're looking how we can help each other.
Right. Big time.
I would be, I cannot let this one go. This is something else we bonded over. Got to bring this up on the pod. You're a drummer.
Yes. Yep.
How long have you been playing drums again? Remind me.
Probably about 15 years or so. Long time.
Oh, my dude. What?
Yeah.
Talk to me about the music aspect of your life.
I mean, music is still a big part of who I am. I mean, New Music Friday, every Friday is, it's the first thing I look at when I wake up is what new music came out that day. A lot of bands, artists I always follow that they're releasing new stuff. The drumming, it was a really great outlet for me when I was younger. It was, I don't know how to explain it. It was something that, I got lost in, it was something that I could, just kind of put headphones on, sit behind my kit and just lock in for a few hours. And that's all I thought about. And it was wonderful. And I still do that every once in a while. And, then got an opportunity to play with a lot of folks when I was back on Long Island. And the band I play for, Green or Blue, that was by far, I have it tattooed on my arm. That's how much it means to me and those two mean to me. And, what we were able to do, we made an album together. And, we have that album now forever, and I just think that's just so cool. Music is a really impactful thing for folks. I feel like it hits people in different ways. But I love it. Music is huge for me. And drumming was great. Awful at first. I was joking with Nicole a couple nights ago. We were at a wedding this past weekend. They were playing The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, and I was like, I played Battle of the Bands in high school. This was what we played. Just like, oh, did you guys win? And I was like, no, we sucked. But it was great. Like that, like those were like just looking back on it now, it's just like amazing things to go through. Like especially, that at that age and understanding music at that time, and it's just fun. I love it.
Yeah, people can't see because I live in the dark ages and don't have video of this podcast, but I was just nodding my head the whole time of like everything you're saying about your relationship to drumming and music. I'm like, same. I don't honestly, I can't say it better. I would agree with all of that. Like drumming for me, I started in high school. Yeah. Like one of the adult leaders at my youth group in like freshman year of high school, because I was a very angry kid from a tumultuous situation at that point. So that was one of the things talking about earlier, like people believing in you, like giving you a chance to, see beyond yourself and what you think you're capable of. He was like, I'm just going to teach you the drums. Year and a half later, I'm in a band with some of my other friends at the youth group. 7
Amazing.
years later, we had been in a band for 7 years, like putting out recordings and playing shows. And like, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast today or anything in my life creatively or whatever without that formative experience. So it's very cool that you can like relate to that. And those are very important like seasons of life and how you're still able to keep music such an important part of your life.
I mean, you just kind of, put the nail on the head with going back to a certain part of your life and what it's done to you now. And that's definitely music. I mean, I remember played a show in Amityville on Long Island, and there was this duo, Matt and Ben. They opened Green or Blue. They opened for the, I forgot who the artist was, but I remember sitting there and I was like, wow, these two are amazing. And their harmonies were beautiful. Their music was beautiful. And I don't know if I think I just messaged them on, I guess it was Facebook at the time, MySpace. I don't know. I don't think it was that early. And I was like, hey, man, if you ever need a drummer, like, you guys were amazing. Would love to help out if you ever need it. And it was like a year later, I get a random text message, and it was Matt. And he's like, hey, we need a drummer for a show we're playing in Manhattan. Are you still available? And that was it. And that led to us kind of forming a really great bond and able to do an album together. And it's just like those little moments that kind of shape where you go.
I love it. Our next meet cute will have to be like a Guitar Center or something. Like we're gonna have to just go in there. I took our daughter into Guitar Center for the first time the other week. It was a spiritual experience because I have all those memories of.
I feel like every time you go to Guitar Center, it's a spiritual experience.
It is, yeah. Man. I won't get into it, but it was. We bought her first pair of drumsticks.
Awesome.
Like she's really taken on like a. And it's not just like me being, the like stage parent or whatever. Like, love the thing I love. It's like she has naturally gravitated towards
That's awesome.
Music. Like whenever she sees us walk in the room, she'll just like start dancing and smiling.
That's awesome.
She's like has a little practice pad. She'll just like hit the sticks on it. And
I love it.
She has bongos and a xylophone. She has her own like percussion section over there. But I'll put on videos of drummers like on Drumeo and stuff. Breaking her favorite is the Arctic Monkeys drummer.
Okay,
breaking down their grooves.
He was just filmed that, right?
Yeah. Breaking down their grooves and fills and stuff. She's just transfixed, like it.
Awesome.
So selfishly, I do hope to carry on the musical.
That's awesome.
Since her dad's not a career musician, but
James is the same way. He's been so into music. He dances when music's on. We got him his own little vinyl player that plays like kids songs and stuff. It was like last month we were up. We were upstairs, like where my drums are, and he like went to grab the sticks, and he was like banging on the drums. I was like, okay, I'm not going to push it, but, but if you want to do that, that's a good sign.
I mean, if that's what you want to choose with your life, great. I won't, I'll just put some stuff in front of you.
Just so, I don't know. It's just
I love that.
Very, interesting experience to like see your son like do something like that, or like your child do like do something that you were interested in when you were little. That's pretty cool.
It's wild. Maybe they'll start a band together.
There you go. There you go.
I love that so much. That's great. And I love that for your son too. Just like being like gravitating towards it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
The other thing. Well, I've just got back into it. It seems like you've been at it but like running. Are you doing the Charlotte Marathon? Or are you like?
Yeah.
I just signed up for the half marathon.
All right. We'll see you out there.
Yeah, I did. My last race was 10 years ago.
Okay.
So barely ran.
And you did the 8K, right?
Yeah, the 10K around the crown, 10K. That went great. So
Nailed
I was like, I'll keep training.
Love it.
Every time I see you post from it, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, not that it's a competition, but I'm like, you are a bona fide runner.
Running is, but I ran the Charlotte Marathon in 2019, and it was in about like 4.5 hours. And running then was not where it was for me now. I love it. Like I didn't love running then. Like I love running now. It's a big mental thing for me. But I've been trying to enter the New York City lottery for a decade now, and it is just so hard to enter that race if you're not already in there, if you're not already ran it, if you're not running for a charity. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I can try to qualify my way in. So that's the goal, is to try to qualify. You still have to enter a lottery after that. But hopefully that will help out next year. That's just something that I would love to experience in my life, is to run that race. And Charlotte's tough. Charlotte's a very hilly race. So the 2 hours and 53 minutes, I have to cross that finish line. So the training has been really tough, but it's going really well.
Well, crap. Now I'm super nervous that I signed up for. I mean, you're doing the actual full marathon, so it's different. But
the half marathon's awesome. The back half is the hilly part.
Oh man, yeah. The running on the highway, the around the crown, was like
so cool.
I confess, I ran like 6 miles, but there was like definitely a quarter mile in aggregate where I was like, I have to walk. Like I have to pace myself.
How was that?
It was tons of fun. I had an absolute blast. Like,
it looks just like a great time.
I was like, man, I want to do this every year. Yeah. And it was so funny to see people that are clearly more at your level of running that are just like running in from their house to the 10K, doing the 10K, running back home. Like, it's no thing. For me, I was just happy that like I got to a place where I could basically be running the entire time and just be consistent.
It's huge.
I finished ahead of where I had planned to finish, like time wise. So,
dude, those little things when it comes to that stuff is just so big, you know. And like, again, it's just I'm sure a big mental thing for a lot of folks. So that's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's great. Well, yeah, 6 months from now we can run together sometime.
There you go.
Maybe I'm more at your level. As we're kind of wrapping up, I kind of ask this of all my guests. I mean, you have shared a lot, and you do a lot in the way of encouraging other folks and sharing wisdom and giving people the space to share their stories and like practically supporting community in such an incredible and inspiring way. But is there anything, just as you generally think about, that you would give to folks, like encouragement, advice, anything?
I'm not sure. I think I'm really kind of learning a lot still. I think the biggest advice is to not hide your emotion, and when things are bothering you, when things are not going great, talk to somebody. I think that's my biggest piece of advice right now. That's something that I've still trying to figure out and get better with, but life is very short to kind of go that route and be upset, be angry really for no reason when you're not talking to people and like actually letting your emotions out. That and journaling's been a good thing for me this year. So that's probably the biggest piece of advice. I'm still figuring it out too, so I don't know if I can give it.
Well, I think community and the power of connection, all that has been kind of the theme throughout our conversation. And I mean, it's funny. It goes back to, we all have that imposter syndrome, that talk like, oh, we're not qualified or fit to, and it's like, but you're doing it. You may not have the, exact words at the moment, but like you're more than qualified to help out. And I know you know that, but it's just like, that's the power of communities. We can all remind each other of that, like what we bring to the table.
Yeah, and I think when we root for other people and not see it as a competition, I think that is something that really drives things forward. And just not a healthy thing to look at things as a competition these days. And when you see somebody actually succeeding and doing good things, doing things well, and winning at every aspect of life, like that's something that you should like really cheer for.
Honestly, I hope like for myself, I try to take that to heart a lot, and I hope folks listening take that to heart. Like, in addition to what you shared, like that cheerleader aspect, I think that's some of the, like when I think about, my daughter and like how am I going to coach her through life or whatever, that's one of the things that keeps sticking out in my mind is like, look for all the ways you can like root for other people, because of everything we talked about, like the power of like how, like what that actually does to help each other out. And like, being a cheerleader is like one of the most powerful things you can do, and finding practical ways to do it.
Yeah. And can be with anything, you know. I always reach out to people that are like, I'm following their training kind of journey, and they're running their own races, and you know, seeing them like hit PRs and like hit their good training blocks, like, hell yeah, let's go, keep going. Or, you know, a lot of photographers here getting like really good at opportunities to photograph like big events, like, hell yeah, let's get it. I don't know. It's just spreading that love and the joy for other people is just something that I look for.
Where can people follow your work?
Everything right now is on Instagram. Andy J. Weber is my personal, and GoodHumans CLT is the GoodHuman stuff on Instagram. And we're rolling through it. So it's been a fun project. I really appreciate you wanting to chat about it. Go more in depth with it. It's been cool to like really kind of let it out and kind of see like the journey and the growth of it from where it started. So it's been a lot of fun, but that's where everybody can find it.
Please go follow GoodHumans. Follow Andy on Instagram. Do you want to plug your website, or do you like?
Yeah, andyjweber.com. All contact stuff too is there. Everything is linked in Instagram too. So
connect. Yeah, of course. Please connect with Andy's work. It's incredible. What he's doing is we've well covered. Connect with his work. Support it. Hire Andy. For crying out. What are you doing out there, podcast world? You haven't hired him yet? Make it happen. No, I mean, it's as a creative, like the quality of work you do is incredible. So yeah, please try to connect with Andy any way you can. Check out GoodHumans, support it. Flood his inbox with recommendations. He doesn't care. No, but
I don't send it my way.
Yeah, but take the time to read the stories. I'm not just saying that because I had to be one of the story. I mean, like skip past mine. I don't care. But like everyone else's, like it really is some powerful stuff that Andy's doing. So please connect with them any way you can. And Andy Weber, thank you again so much for coming on the podcast. This conversation is in many ways what I hope whenever I sit down to record it, of just being able to genuinely connect, hear someone's story. Your story is very powerful for me. I'm glad that we've been able to become friends and be a part of each other's stories in these small ways this year, and look forward to seeing that grow. But thank you for your time, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Honored. Likewise too. You're doing amazing work here, and it's very, very honored. Thanks.